Hello, Zimbabwe and Africa at large. There is this quote by John Edward Acton, a British historian. He died, I think, around 1902. That says, unchecked power is the greatest threat to human freedom on the planet if power goes unchecked. Yes, he was right to a certain extent, but I personally think, power reveals who you really are. Give someone who doesn't have money and see how his behavior changes. If he was poor, he will behave in a certain way. Why? Because there is money. He has got power, financial power to do whatever he thinks is right, even if it's not right. So power, whether it's political or financial, it reveals who you are. Let's look at elections in two countries. One that happened in the last election in Zimbabwe. The election observer or monitors were mostly from SADC countries and the AU and a few European organizations. They discovered a lot of irregularities and pointed to those irregularities. But surprisingly, the SADC, with the bulk of the observers and monitors, actually endorsed those elections as free and fair and went on to endorse the current president of Zimbabwe, Mnangagwa, as the chairman of SADC. What a circus. It's really a joke. The recent elections, last October, I think, in Mozambique, there were more than 300 deaths post-election violence because the elections were rigged. Still, SADC went on to endorse those elections as free and fair. What is the point of holding elections anyway? It's better to declare one-party state, and you stop people from unnecessary death. But no, they prefer these elections cost money and a lot of things. So you see why it is so easy for these bigger nations or richer nations to install puppets in most African countries, something they can't do in a continent like Asia or other parts of the world. But in Africa, it's so easy. Because why? They have discovered our weakness. Greedy. Let's look at the crisis in Dr. Congo, DRC. Dr. Congo is bigger than Germany, France, Spain, Portugal, Netherlands, and Belgium combined together. That country is bigger than those countries I've talked about. And judging by the minerals under its belly, it's richer than those countries I've mentioned. But look at the poverty in that country. The people are poor, not because they don't have resources. They do have resources. But what's the reason for them being poor? It's one, greedy. If we took all the fighting forces, the M23 and other smaller organizations fighting in Dr. Congo and say, guys, let's have peace. There is enough for every Tom and Jerry to enjoy life to the fullest with surplus to sell to other countries. By Hell no. They want fighting. A lot of people have died and are still dying because of that conflict. There was 27 years of fighting in Angola. That cost 500,000 lives from 1975 to 2002. But look at how rich Angola is. These people could sit down and say, guys, let's share what we have and sell the surplus. But why didn't they do that? Someone with unchecked power was greed and looted the funds. This, the scenario in most African countries. But let me tell you one thing. If we don't change our mindset, if we don't clean our backyard, our children, great-grandchildren will suffer till the time we see donkeys with horns and horses with horns. We need to change our mindset. We need to stop being greedy. The highest number of people who have died in the Mediterranean Sea trying to cross over to Europe for a better life, Africans. The highest number of those who have died in the Sahara Desert trying to cross the Sahara Desert to the north shores of Africa, Africans. Till when is the question? We need to change our mindset. If we are entertaining any hopes of seeing a better Africa. Look at Kuwait. I passed it through Kuwait, not Kuwait, Qatar. And look at how beautiful that country is. They have I can say they have only one resources. Let's make it two, oil and natural gas. But they have built their country. It's a world-class country with only two resources. How many resources are in Dr. Congo? Gold, copper, cobalt, lithium, diamonds. You name them. But look at the poverty. People in Qatar are living like kings. People in United Arab Emirates are living like kings. Why? They are not greedy. They want to share whatever they have together. That's why if you look at the number of Africans doing this, the number of people doing these odd jobs are Africans and people from other parts of the world. Africa, we need to change. Africa, I say it again, we need to change our mindset if we want to see a better Africa. May God bless our continent, Africa. I thank you and goodbye.